Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm doing a try chapter experiment with some books that I got on Stuff Your Kindle Day. So I don't often participate in Stuff Your Kindle Day because it's often hard to find things that I actually want to read. However, I think the very first time that I looked at it, maybe like a year ago, I got 2 books, never read them. And then for the most recent one, I decided, you know what, let me take a little perusal. Found some books, downloaded them, and as I was reading one of them, I decided that I should do like a little try chapter experiment. Ignore the beeping from the truck that's backing me up outside. So the first book that I tried to read was The Good Girl by Tracy Reed, and this one is workplace romance, maybe an age gap, billionaire. I think like those are all the things. I specifically downloaded it because I wanted to try something different. I wanted to see if I like billionaire romances. I started it. I made it like 3 or 4 chapters in before I decided to DNF because there was a random line about the main character being sold into white slavery. So, no. From my understanding, this author is Black, but some of her books do have white protagonists, which is a thing that Black romance authors have had to do because unfortunately, apparently, reading about Black characters is just too much for some people. So whatever, that's fine. But that joke just was distasteful. I'm not sure when that first book came out, but it just turned me off and I was like, no. However, I do have 2 other books by her that I got recently. One of them is called Girlfriends and Secrets, and the other one is whatever the second book in that series is, so I will give that a try. Also, let me say about the Good Girl books. So I saw that there were 2 parts to them, which is fine. Like the first one's only like 83 pages. However, why is book 5, following this same couple, I'm pretty sure, almost 400 pages? You know what? I'm gonna head out on that one because there's no fucking way. Although I did just read Air of Flames, which is 500 pages, but still, like, that one's good. So whatever. See what this is about. This is the first book in the Alex Chronicles, I believe it's called, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a series of companion novels following different friends in this group. Yeah, so in this one, apparently there's some huge secret that she's hiding that could destroy her reputation and her friendships. Sounds messy, but we're gonna give it a try anyway. So after I decided to DNF that book, I started reading the other book that I got the very first time I did Stuff Your Kindle Day, which is called Love on the Edge by Carrie Evelyn. I chose this one because it's a bodyguard romance. I'm not far enough in to decide how I feel about it just yet. Why are these chapters so long? Damn. Oh yeah, I'm only on chapter 1. That's wild. So I am on chapter 1 at the moment. However, the couple hasn't met yet. They're about to. We're just getting to that point, but I'll let you know how I feel about that once I do finish this chapter. Also, this is a bodyguard romance because our FMC gets attacked by her coworker or something. He's like obsessed with her, right? And so the prologue is from the stalker's point of view, and he's talking about how he found this apartment building that's close to her so he can watch her through the window. Why she ain't got no blinds, I don't know. But also, I guess he like stabbed her because he referenced a bloody knife, but then he's talking about how the apartment that he's in and has been watching her from isn't his, and that the owners were coming back, so he's like wiping the place clean. And I'm like, this escalated quickly, but also I'm intrigued now. So I'll give y'all an update when I get a little further into that one. And then the other books that I have 3 more. I lied, there's 4 more. Also, a quick note about Stuff Your Kindle Day is that when you're going through the list, there are typically like not a synopsis, but like a tiny blurb, like a very short blurb that doesn't give you the full synopsis, but also keywords. And so this time around, I'm specifically looking for Black romance. So this first one is called Brown Sugar This Christmas. Yes, Christmas is over, I don't care. This is book 1 in the Sag Harbor Black romances, and this one I think might be Friends to Lovers. So we'll see how that goes. But I think she is returning to her hometown, and he is a former Wall Street banker turned entrepreneur, and I believe he owns a bakery. So I don't know, sounds cute. Maybe I'll like it, we shall see. Next we have Hey Lover by D.L. White. I picked this one partially because I like the cover. All right, so it looks like this one is second chance romance. I like that trope in certain contexts. I didn't love it in Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, but maybe this one will be a little better. Next, we have Hunted. And so this is a part of a series. I think this is like book 5. And while that annoys me slightly, I'm gonna let it go because all of the books weren't available. Oh, and I chose this one because the male main character is a former CIA agent. Sounds like a fun time. I believe it's more like romantic suspense. So this one is romantic suspense, supposed to be a one-night stand. He was formerly in the CIA, and I guess someone from his past is now coming after him, and the love interest might be collateral damage and he might have to save her or something. I don't know. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. It has a pretty high rating. It's a 4.66 on Goodreads. So, and then the last one that I have is called Prince of Hearts. And I specifically remember choosing this one because it said something about mafia. Another supposed to be a one-night stand situation, and it just so turns out that she's a mafia princess. I don't think he knows that at this point. And so once they start being involved with each other, I guess her world sort of clashes with his. Sounded interesting. So I'm going to read one chapter of all of these and I'll give y'all an update on how I feel about them. So it's the end of the year, and when y'all are gonna see this, I have no idea. I don't think I'm gonna be completing any of these anytime soon. I do want to try a chapter of each, see which ones I'm intrigued by, but I'll probably be reading those chapters during End It Write-A-thon with Jess, which is this weekend. Will I complete any? I don't know. Will I actually go through with reading any of them? Also a mystery, but I will let y'all know. Hello. So I was trying to take a nap and that didn't work. So instead, I finished chapter 1 of Love on the Edge, and it feels boring, but nothing has happened yet. And it's only the first chapter, but I think like the setting and the characters are kind of boring. Like they're at some resort in Massachusetts that are a remote location pretending to be a married couple on their honeymoon, and they're so far away because the hope is that the stalker can't find her there because apparently he followed her across state lines to get to her. And I have to be honest, I can't tell if it's actually boring or if it's boring because there's an absence of organized crime after reading so many mafia and cartel romances and finishing How to Be a Mob Boss on Netflix. Highly recommend, by the way. But yeah, that's that. I think next I'll read a chapter of Girlfriends and Secrets by Tracy Reed to see if she's redeemable. And hopefully she is, because I downloaded 2 of those books, but we'll see. So I just finished chapter 1 of Girlfriends and Secrets, and I'm slightly intrigued, but I also have the feeling that this is gonna be really fucking messy because whatever this secret is, she's been holding onto it for 20 years and she's being super vague about it, which is kind of irritating me because I'm like, how long are we gonna drag this out? But apparently she knows something that could, I guess, destroy the reputation of a very rich family. But she also said something about she might be willing to risk it all for love, and she says that it could cost her life. And I feel like putting your life in danger for a man is wild, but that's just me. It also looks like we're gonna get perspectives from not just Alex, the main character, but all of her friends too, which I was not expecting. I thought it was gonna be more like a typical romance companion novel series where every character just gets their own book, but that's not the case. So that's interesting. Also, in the beginning, she's talking about her relationship. She was with this guy named Jonathan on and off for 10 years. He had proposed to her early in their relationship, and she was like, it's way too early. We need more time. She moved to California. He followed her. Then at one point, he started having an affair. His side piece ended up pregnant. For whatever reason, she took him back, and then he gave her an ultimatum and said, marry me or we're done for good. I'm wondering how, as a cheater, you're giving the ultimatum, but she agreed. He was going to a conference. She was going to surprise him there, and they were going to elope. But before she got there, he had a heart attack and died. And so now one of her friends is trying to set her up unsuccessfully. And I really don't know where we're going, to be honest. And the fact that she's been holding on to the secret for 20 years, but it's such a big deal, like that's a long period of time, and like why now? So I don't know. I guess I would read more just to see what's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna be messy though, and I feel that I have endured enough mess from reading the Mr. series by B Love, which had a new release yesterday. So I will be continuing into that dumpster fire. But I guess I would read more just out of curiosity. The next book that I'll try a chapter of will be Brown Sugar This Christmas. I don't see why not. So yeah, I'll read that and then give another update. I'm hoping that at some point one of these is going to be so intriguing that I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I need to finish this ASAP. But that has not happened yet. So I guess we'll see. So I'm in my office and decided that I'm done working for the day. Last night I read the first chapter of Brown Sugar This Christmas, and I definitely want to read more. It's about a woman who works for a senator in DC, and she goes back to the Hamptons where she grew up for Christmas. And so we just had our first scene with the love interest and it didn't go well. The FMC was actually really mean and bitchy, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. And then next I think I'm gonna try Hey Lover, and I'll tell you what it's about after I start it. Hi, it's been months since I updated this, but for you it's just a few seconds, so who cares. I did try to read the first chapter of Hey Lover and I was bored. And so our male main character is like the owner of a gaming company, and they had a release that went very well. They're getting ready to release another product, and so they're working on fine-tuning it. And I guess he goes somewhere and he sees the FMC on TV. They used to know each other once upon a time. What really happened between them, I don't know. I just really couldn't get past the first chapter. Like, I just wasn't invested. I did not care. Heather, I believe, finished this and said it was like a 3-star, like it wasn't anything special, and I don't really feel like I need to continue, so it is what it is. Last night, I did finally read the first chapter of the last 2 books that I have. The first one is Hunted. So this one, in the prologue, we're following a former CIA agent who is living under a different identity. However, she's out somewhere like at a diner, and someone passed her a message and they were like, I know who you are and I'm gonna get you back for destroying my family. And they also use her last known alias while she was in the CIA. So she leaves that place, she's getting on the highway and somebody's been tampering with her brakes, so she gets into a car accident, and that's just how the prologue ends. And then in the first chapter we're following someone different, or her under a different alias, I don't know. Actually, it must be the same girl, because there was a guy that she was involved with and he had like cut things off with her or whatever, but then all of a sudden he came back and there's a lot of tension there. Don't know what happened there, but there are feelings. So that was the end of the first chapter. Definitely want to keep reading that one because it sounds very good. I'm very intrigued by the character setup, so I don't know what to expect, but that one I definitely will be continuing. And then this last one was Prince of Hearts, and it's the first in a series. The first chapter doesn't give you a lot of information. We're following our male main character. He's on his way to like a club or something where I assume he's gonna meet our FMC. They're gonna hook up. It's supposed to be a one-night stand, but whether they're just like, we can't get enough of each other, or they're like thrown back together due to circumstances, I don't know yet. So we didn't get much done. We're just getting the vibe of like, this is a very dangerous lifestyle, but you know, they have to keep up appearances and things like that. So that's all that we really got in that first chapter, but I am intrigued enough to keep going. So to close this out and do a little recap of everything, that first book, Good Girl by Tracy Reed, that was a no, DNF that one. Then I tried Girlfriends and Secrets by her. That one I am intrigued by, but there is high potential to DNF on that one because the setup, the way she's keeping the secret, how many times is it going to be mentioned? Like, if I gotta wait until 75% to find out what the secret is, I'm gonna be pissed, right? So we'll see how that one goes. Love on the Edge, I want to enjoy, but it is boring. We'll see how it goes. I am gonna give it a fair shot. Then we have Brown Sugar This Christmas. I definitely want to keep reading that one. I want to see how that goes because their first interaction was not great, and we haven't gotten into the MMC's POV yet, so I definitely want to see how that one works out. Hey Lover, another DNF. Hunted, definitely will keep reading, 100%. Prince of Hearts, up in the air. It's up in the air. I think I'll have to see how the couple interacts and if it's worth it. But that is my wrap up for my try a chapter from Stuff Your Kindle Day. This is my first time doing a try a chapter, so mayhaps I will do another one. I did get a request from 2 people to do one while intoxicated, but that will have to be very well planned out if I'm gonna do that. I think y'all just want me to embarrass myself on the internet, but whatever. So let me know if you've read any of these books, if you've read any other books by any of these authors and you like them and think I would, let me know. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.